Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning live cast with WikiTree. We're going to round up the week that was at WikiTree, and this morning Greg has morphed into Sandy Paddock.
Two Appalachians for the price of one, right?
Sandy, did you bring anything special this morning? Biscuits.
As I said, I had my personal chef make a batch this morning. He's a good one.
I like that. My personal chef. Yeah. After 25 years, you know.
You kind of call him something
what
else.
Did you bring for Sandy today?
Yes.
Show us that beautiful mug.
She had it to do. There we go.
Yep.
That's Betsy co-host. Betsy co-host.
Shy for Chicago, and it has all the Chicago neighborhoods listed on it. So
that's a really cool mug. Starbucks does some cool mugs for the locations.
It sure does. Yeah.
I need to go to the airport and see if they have any yow. We have a cool but they wouldn't say chai. And yours doesn't say ord.
No.
Ord is the look, and I'm just drinking out. I do have extra coffee in my Appalachian mug for South Carolina. Good morning, and it is Saturday morning, the 23rd of March, and we're having too much fun already. Greg is off playing all day long somewhere, and he's singing Ave Maria.
I know. I can't. Maybe he'll sing it for us. Maybe at one of the hangouts.
He has actually. He and I sang some, but I don't think we actually sang it live. So it was fun.
There's
nice pen too. Somebody says.
Oh,
you had a pen in your hand?
Pen? I had a pen in my hand.
Pen?
I had a.
Well, there she goes. She's got biscuits.
An Appalachian project manager or a member gave this to me.
That's nice. So we've got Amanda from Melbourne, Australia. She wins the Winky button for being the first here. You don't get anything, even though we're showing off our T-shirts. Judy Stutz is here. Woohoo! Ringo McCoy, Audrey Martin, Judith Fry, Donna Gerber. Morning from dreary and wet southeast Pennsylvania. The weather here is snow. What about you, Betsy Co?
It is cold and looking like it might snow, which it was last evening.
Yeah. Sandy?
Y'all don't want to know. It's nice. Yeah. It's sunny. It's warm.
And it's polleny. I said something about Cindy Engel is doing a virtual talk for the Georgia Genealogical Society. And I said, what is wrong with you, Cindy? You should be in Georgia right now. Do you know how beautiful it is? And then somebody said, no. And they posted a picture of a pine tree falling over and
you see the yellow
cloud going up. I thought that was funny. Let's see.
My wife
Murray Maloney is here.
Murray.
Vicky Bianco here. Susie Carter. Mary Sleppy. Hey, Mary. Let's see. And I had a weird dream this week. Mary made me think of it. I had a really fun dream. I've been having some crazy dreams here lately. And the dream was that there was a WikiTree gathering. And it was nobody there but WikiTreeers. We were all dressed in orange, walking around, talking, laughing, having fun, eating. It was at a beachside resort. I didn't see any mankinis, thank you. And we just had a great time. But there was this cheer that we would do. And the end of the cheer, we did the touchdown. The WikiTree. Touchdown.
Do you think Bruce Whitten is in chat? Maybe he can make that happen.
Sign me up for that get together.
I know the gathering, the WikiTree gathering. Let's see. D. Spencer Carr is here. Lisa Gervais is right up the street from me. You're not up the street, but close enough. Sorry, Augusta, Georgia. D. Spencer Carr. Yeah. I want to see. I'm going to be down that way here shortly, so I'll get to see some azaleas and some dogwoods. I hope. I miss those living up here. Let's see, who did I miss? June Budka is here. June, we are so glad you're here, and we hope that your Timex is keeping good time. For those of you in the know, you know. So congratulations on your new Timex there, June. Let's see. Chris Ferriello is here. Yoke is here. Oh, who else is here? Patricia Jackson. Hey, here. Judith Fry. Let's see. John Tyner, Mary Buchholz. Let's see. Let's see. Gail Martin is here. Kathy Bauer. Melanie McComb, the show.
Hey, Melanie.
Hey, Melanie. Yeah, I want to see Melanie dress up as a leprechaun just once. Just once. Vicky Bianca is here. Ringo McCoy already said good morning to you. Patty LaPlatte. I want to say Patty LaPage. Isn't that the singer? Patty LaPage, wasn't that singer?
Mm-hmm.
If you're done for sun dunes and salty air. That's anyway. Christine Miller, Chief Family Genealogy Officer. Let's see, Tree Climber. Goodness gracious, there's lots of people. Chris Wine, Aaron Gullison. Let's see, Melanie McComb. All right, so, and I have a one-starred comment. Judy Stutz said there's a recent news story article about the Ghost Army getting congressional medals. Now, if you don't know what the Ghost Army is, there's a really cool page, a really cool article on the AP that shows that. And these are fake cardboard tanks and stuff. Now, that's obviously not a fake man right there. But they set up decoys so that the Germans would think that they were going this way instead of that way. So it's really cool. Inflatable tanks. Radio trickery, costume uniforms, and acting. The military units that became known as the Ghost Army outwitted the enemy during World War II. Their mission was kept secret for decades, but on Thursday, the group stepped out of the shadows as they were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal at a ceremony in Washington. So if you're interested in checking that out, just Google Ghost Army and you will see that. So I thought that was a cool thing. Thank you, Judy, for bringing that to our bringing us to our senses.
And there's still some that are still alive, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. The next question I have is, Betsy Coe, do you have any female ancestors that are your favorites?
Of course. I think my maternal grandmother, whom I didn't get to know, we missed each other by 10 years, but I heard so much about her from my mother and my aunt that I feel like I know her. And yeah, special lady.
Special lady. What about you, Sandy? Do you have any?
This is tough, isn't it, Betsy, to answer?
It is.
My maternal grandmother taught me how to cook, how to make biscuits, taught me everything I know about cooking, but it's actually my great grandmother who could only sign an X, and she fought for 15 years to get property in West Virginia because her husband fought in the War of 1812 and had to pay for that, didn't have money, and that is how my family owned a beautiful piece of land on the Elk River in West Virginia and became West Virginians.
So do you guys still have that property up there?
No.
No, too bad.
They sold it.
Well,
sold it to a resort. And that's funny. Now we're talking about it.
Yeah, we were just talking about Sandy's been riding around up in my neck of the woods in North Georgia looking for places to build a cabin. And I just told her that the land that was a part of the Dillard property where the Dillard house is, I guess, I don't know if it's still operating or not, or if it's sold. Well, but it has been sold to a developer, and that property is going to be developed. We announced that. Margaret Dillard announced that in the Dillard Family Association Facebook group the other day. So that's interesting because that's where we always had our reunions. So
that's your stomping grounds, for your family.
Yeah, that's fun.
So who's your favorite female ancestor?
I don't know that I really haven't thought about it because I was so fascinated with everybody else. But the one that I work on the most is probably my grandmother, because she had such an unusual story. And the fact that she never got, she never proved to her family that she was who she was. So even as I started researching, they said she's not a part of the family. She was left on the doorstep. And I was able to prove through DNA that she absolutely was a part of the family. But it's interesting. That would probably be my first choice just for today, but I've got others back when. So that's fun. So the question of the week is, who is one of your favorite ancestors? And I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I am going to visit a couple of these profiles that were listed. Now, if you want to go through and read some of these incredible stories, do it. Do it. But I'm going to tackle just a couple here and actually go to the, there's a question, there's one that's picked best, and I'll wait for that one for last. But let's go and let's look at Alice Weir first. So when I looked at the profile, I clicked on the profile link and I looked at it, and there was stuff on there, but it was really just about the kids. And as a G2G integrator, one of the things that they do, and that I do when I have time to do it, is I will take information that is posted about a person's profile and try and add it to the profile, or, make a comment about it. If there's research that's needed that's shown in G2G, I try and add a research section so you can do it. So the integrators are trying to take some of the information that happens in that G2G post and add it to the profile. And if it's sourced and if there's information, you can add it directly to the profile with those sources, or just add it to research note. So I'm going to show you really quickly. Now, this is not an attempt to say that M did a bad job with his profile. This is an attempt to show that she did a really great job with his profile, but she has more to add. So what I've done is, this is the original wait, is that the original? No. Oh, I don't have the original up there. I thought I did. Wait a second. No, I don't. So what I did was I took the information that she had and I incorporated it into this wonderful profile that M. Ross has done. So she was born, Alice Weir was born in 1825 in County Roscommon. I don't know how they would say it in Ireland. And she was married to Martin Sheridan. She's got a marriage date of 1839 in Roscommon, Ireland. And they've got the kids all listed here, and I don't do the children like Greg does. I like to see it all kind of like in the same place. But she had Roscommon. She was born there, and she had 8 children with her husband. And the 8 children born to Alice Weir and Martin Sheridan. She goes through and she mentions that there were some born in Roscommon, and then the family moved to Newcastle under Lyme. And one of the things that she says in the G2G post is she actually writes that up, that the family moved, and she talks about how the children were born at different times. So I've taken some of this verbiage that she had in her G2G post, and I've added it in to some of the information that she had. And I kind of reformatted how the children are listed so that it was a little bit easier for readability. And then I took the information about the family moving and why they moved. The potato famine was at its height. That wasn't on the profile before. That was in the G2G post. And she had a comment already that said there could have been more children. So I left that in there, but I just added that to the family. She also had in the G2G post an interesting comment about them living in something called a back-to-back house. And she says it's one of the cheapest and most miserable places to live. And the minute I saw this, I went to the article that she linked in G2G, and I can remember seeing old black and white film of the bombings in London. And it was all of every one of them seemed to be this type of house. I guess they're an easy target for aircraft to see. And it said that the windows are only on the front. And you can see that the house behind the house that's in the picture has been updated. It has new windows and more windows. So that's interesting. But just think how skinny that house was. That's the whole width of the house.
And if you were interior, you had even
You had even less space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And obviously somebody's added a dormer up here to this, and there are other dormers that you can see. These places are still lived in, obviously, and people are updating them to make them better than they were. But so she had this great link in her G2G post about the back-to-back houses. And then she had a comment that it must have taken a lot of courage to make the move to England with no money and a family. But they probably had no choice. So she had that in the G2G post, and I moved that over. So now she had a bunch of information about the kids and stuff, but really nothing else. So what I did is I took the G2G information and I embellished what she had written in the G2G post and added it to the profile to make it look and sound and feel and read a lot better. And then she says also that there may have been other children born. And I just added there, more research is needed to confirm this possibility. She has great sources down here all lined up, pretty nice. And so, you know what? I'm going to leave her a comment and just say, great profile. If I could spell, if I could type, I would be dangerous. Great profile.
You just showed a really, really good thing to do for a biography. You don't have a lot of details for a biography, but you know that there's details on the city, or the house, or type of house. Add that to the biography.
Yeah,
and to beef it up. So I just did that for her. But I also, when I was working on it, I left her a note saying I was doing it because I'm a good WikiTreeer. And I also really mentioned the question of the week when I was doing the update for the saving to let her know that that's why I was changing the profile. So now she has a little thing there. So my question is, I'm not related to her. Is anybody related to Weir 396 in the chat? Yeah, thank you, Michelle, Melanie McComb. Did you say that with an Irish accent, Shamrock? Yeah. So that's what the integrators do. They integrate stuff that we see. Touchdown wave. Ah! Oh no! Excuse me. All right, Mary Slippy. So Maison Derriere. That's funny. That's funny. A back-to-back house. A Maison Derriere. Let's see. I have a ton of admiration for women who immigrated to the U.S. for better life. So there's lots of great comments. Are any of you related to her? I am absolutely not. I'm like 30.
No.
I'm 29.
Wow. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's bring up the next one. This one is Charity Lewis. Now, I did not make any changes to her profile, but I could. I haven't done it yet, but I could. I started doing this and I didn't have time to finish. So I went through it last night and I decided this is the way I was going to do it. So look, we've got 26 degrees. Melanie is 30. 8 p.m. 17, 26. Ringo McCoy, 28. So there are some people in here that I forgot to answer, but Leger, 1977, my great aunt, or Legger, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but Jean. We'll have to find that. So there's stuff in this one that I didn't add, but let's check out this profile just for fun. So this is Lewis 35205. Lewis 35205. Are you related to them? So, and here's my first thing was, I live in Upper Canada, or what was Upper Canada, but I've never heard of Sophiasburg. So the very first thing I did is I went up to her birth and I clicked on the icon for the map to see where Sophiasburg is. And here it is right there. It's very near Kingston. So Sophiaburg is going to be right smack underneath the middle of the line of the eclipse on April the 8th.
Oh, how cool is that?
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is the best place in the world to see it, right here.
Road trip.
And Greg is up here somewhere and I'm over here. But this family, if I had the time, I would have done a map showing all the places that this family lived, because they went up here. They were doing mining. They went all the way up here. They were working timber. It seems they followed the same pattern that I know a lot of people followed for people who were in the timber industry up here, and then they were down here in Hastings. So they moved all over the place to follow their interesting labor force. So the timber industry was huge, and mining was also big. Not so much here as out west or down east. But look at the picture. So this is Lydia Burley Walter and Charity Lewis. So Charity Lewis is the older lady over here, and this is her daughter. Now, there is something that is pretty obvious in this, is that they have very dark skin. And it's really not mentioned in the basic biography of her. But when you come down here to the research notes, Nagel, let's see, I got to remember her name. Lorraine Nagel actually wrote up a story about the family addressing their presentation of how they look. And the whole thing in the family was whether or not they had indigenous. And so they've done work to figure out whether they had indigenous ancestors. So there's a really cool story here and a comment about this and how they've gone through, and they looked at the information for the family that they know of. And it is absolutely Danish and American, and that she needs to have a UE because her family were United Empire loyalists who escaped from the United States or fled the United States at the end of the Revolutionary War. So that's somebody we need to look at for those in the Canada project that are watching. It does say that her family were loyalists. Yeah, Sandy, somebody. We got some people who are saying they're related. APM, Judy Stutz, Melanie, you're not using new cousin for you, Judy. Oh, there you go. Let's see.
She's 16 for me.
So that's great, Mags, if you know how to do it. Are you talking about the integrators, how to take information? Join the integrators project and get the information from the project. They will tell you how to do the kind of work that I just did. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to follow G2G and to try and upgrade a profile that I see where there's been information added. But I also, you got to be careful to let them know that what you're doing and that you're not messing up the profile you're adding to it or embellishing it. Let's see. Ringo McCoy and Indian grandmother. It is a legend until proven. Yes, absolutely a legend until proven. And they disproved it, basically, is what the little research notes say. So that's good. Adding a map to show where they live, Mags. Oh, yeah. I wanted to do that, but I didn't have enough time to finish it. So that's cool. 18. So I have one more to show, and then I'm gonna turn it over. Guess who's Greg today? Yeah.
Well, guess who doesn't have to keep track of the answers in chat?
We're not playing the game.
Y'all did not let me know that last time.
It's a lot of work to do our stuff and play Greg's game. I think the host should be let out of that.
No.
Let's have a vote while he's not here.
It does kind of make you go cross-eyed, right?
He's not here. We can blame everything on him. Okay, so the next profile is Jessie Fatima Colton. She's from Henry Marshall, Illinois. Is that close to you, Betsy Co?
What is it? Henry
Marshall, Illinois.
No, it's not. Must be downstate.
Well, let's look and see real quick, just for fun.
I'm 10 away from her. Interesting. Which means, Mags, you must be close.
Southwest of the city.
Yeah, okay. They're right here, and so she's not there. So she's got a nice profile here, some DNA connections. I didn't even notice, and I should, whether there are DNA connections on the other one. Great biography. Oh my goodness. This should be a profile of the week. And are you related? It's Colton 58, CULTON-58. She's my 10th cousin 5 times removed, or my 14th or we share a great grandmother. So it's a great profile too. So let's wander on down. So she was a journalist, a newspaper editor in Richmond, Indiana, and a pioneer resident and rancher in Garden Grove, Orange County, California, which is cool. She was born on Valentine's Day in Henry, Illinois. Her father, J.W. Colton, and was 40, and her mother, Catherine, were 32, 2 brothers. So she met her life partner, Adele Charters, while they were at school. Soon after graduating and the death of her mother in Chicago, she and Adele removed with her family to Richmond, Indiana. While in Richmond, Jessie began working on the editorial staff of the Register and as a reporter for the Palladium and the Item daily newspapers. So they've got a great picture of her, and look at a great article here. The Doll Yacht rejoicing in the name of Minnetonka, with Miss Jessie Colton in command and Mrs. Celia Lawrence, Ada Hardin, Mamie Albert. How many of you have a Mamie in your family? We have lots of families with lots of names with Mamie. But see, that's cool. It's an article about her, but not one she'd written. And then there's a pioneer resident of County Called, and I believe that is about her. She's gone. This is her obituary. But look at it. This is so cool. What a beautiful idea that the flag should be raised by the daughter of the 2 republics. I wonder if that would ever happen in the history of the world before under like circumstances. So this is a really funny, Jessie, along with a young Mexican woman, raised the flags of their countries in unison. So that's cool. Looking at this beautiful 1860 census, a picture of her tombstone with more information about that. I want to Woman of the Century, Jessie F. Colton, brief biography. So, and then there's another biography of her, which is really cool, and even more, Santa Anna. So I want to check one thing. So did you know, and there's other sources, check that out. Look at that. So you could probably read some of our articles here. I want to check to see if, yes, so she does have the LGBT plus, Q plus identifier as a category because she and her partner were a part of that. So if you are LGBTQ plus, you can put your category there for the profiles that you know. And there's quite a few. So that's pretty cool. And that is the profile of the week. Woo! Sorry,
cool.
not the profile of the week. Question of the week.
Oh, did you say
we're just trying to get rid of Greg altogether? Sandy.
Me?
No. Yes.
Oh. I saw. I see. I gotta watch this more often. I usually am sleeping in, so you all need to
Wait.
bear with me. I know. I'm admitting it.
You don't watch us?
I do, but I catch it usually at halfway through. I admit. In my PJs and everything. Okay, so the featured profiles of the week, and this also ties into the Connection Combat, if memory serves me correctly. And the Connection Combat is Sting and Zendaya this week.
Because they're connected with the movie
Dune. And for those of you that have no knowledge of Dune, I can tell you that my son wanted me to mention he did see the movie last week, loved it, go see it. I have not seen it. I have not read it. I have not ever
I have read it. I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the new version.
What about you, Betsy?
I have not seen the movie, but I remember reading the books a very long time ago.
That was, I remember having the book. That's about as far as I'll go. But basically, Dune is a story of a young man named Paul Atreides, his life on the planet Arrakis, which Arrakis is Dune. So let me see if I can get this right with Greg. So I believe Greg takes 2 profiles and compares them. And now you all have to tell us who you are closest to.
Oh, Betsy, we could have fun right now and tell her all sorts of weird stuff.
Actually, Sandy, we are not going to do that to you, Sandy.
No.
What are you going to do to me?
And if you have connections to these people, please post them. As she said, we aren't going to be actually doing the spreadsheet. We're playing hooky because Greg's not here.
Okay, good. Then what I did come prepared with is just a little bit of information about each of these individuals and some interesting trivia that may or may not be about Dune. So let me start with Sting. So anybody have a guess why Sting's name is Sting? He had a love of insects as a child. So that's why Sting is named Sting. And in 2019, the radio industry globally got together and voted, and they saw all their stats and said that the song Every Breath You Take is the most played song in radio history. And now I'm going to hear it all day long. It's going to be with me all day long. So
if you had an earbug, that would be a good one.
That one would be. So he played Fade in the movie Dune. And then also in the current version of Dune that's out in the theaters, Austin Butler plays Fade. And some of you might know Austin Butler from the recent movie Elvis, the musical Elvis. So there's a lot. Now, Zendaya, I'm going to please tell me I get this right, is Channy. I kept saying Chaney, but I think she's Channy. And if Chris is in here, I know Chris will tell me if I'm right or wrong. Really cool thing about her, she is the youngest Emmy Award winner, and she won for Euphoria, I believe a supporting actress role. So that was really cool. And in the 1984 movie, actress Sean Young played. So let's move on to Patrick Stewart and Josh Brolin as we move along. So that was the Connection Combat, and we'll show you the link for that. So if you haven't played Connection Combat, check it out. It's on G2G. It's a lot of fun. You get to clean up some profiles along the way, and you see who's the closest and who's the fastest that can get to the connection of Zendaya and Sting. There's also a YouTube video out there that kind of explains it as well. Okay, matchup number 2. We're going to do Patrick Stewart and Josh Brolin, who played Gurney Halleck. Sir Patrick Stewart, excuse me for that. And for a little trivia about him, everybody knows, right, that he played Jean-Luc Picard. You probably know that already in Star Trek Next Gen. But did you know he started in Shakespeare? He was a hardcore Shakespearean actor. If you have not seen it in Macbeth, he does a fabulous job. Tomorrow from Macbeth. Go check it out. And then Josh Brolin, Barbra Streisand's stepson. And I know that a lot of you that know MCU, Marvel movies, will know this. He's a baddie. He's a comic book baddie. He played Thanos in the MCU universe. Okay, so then next matchup. This is so much easier without the spreadsheet. Thank you, guys.
Don't tell Greg.
David Lynch and Denis Villeneuve. For my French speakers, please tell me that I said that correctly. Very fascinating. These two were really, really fascinating. These were cool. So these are kind of going with the director's match up combo. And I was kind of surprised that I was 22 degrees from Denis. I thought it'd be further away, if not at all. But for David Lynch, if you've ever watched any of his movies, and I knew this from a long time ago, this one I didn't know, you really can't fast forward through his movies and keep up because he does not have chapters or clear transitions in his movies. So if you fast forward, it's going to be very, very tricky. He wants the whole thing to be submersive, and he's kind of an out there director. He kind of, his movies are interesting, I'll say that. But the other thing that was really, really cool is George Lucas offered him the opportunity to direct an episode of Star Wars 6, The Return of the Jedi. He turned it down. Shocking. That would have gave him a lot of cash, probably in his thing. And of course, I love Denis for a specific reason. He played a lot of hockey as a kid. And every time that he can, he injects hockey into his movies. And a lifelong James Bond fan.
I just like saying his name, Denis
Villeneuve. And I like that picture of him. You know, I know it's a microphone, but to me, it's like he's thinking, you know, as he's answering. But so pretty cool. If you look at the screen, I had no clue that my 23rd great grandmother was French. So I'm going to have to look that up after we're done. We have a lot of cousins here too. That's pretty cool. See that? Okay. And just one more. I'm not going to do all of them, just one more. So this one's just 2 random picks from the featured profiles of the week, Robert Jordan and Franklin Herbert. If you don't know, Franklin Herbert is the reason Dune is around, but let's start with
great books. Those are great books.
Richard Jordan. So he played the Swordmaster and weapons teacher. And Duncan Idaho. What a name, right? What a cool name. But he's another Macbeth, Shakespearean Macbeth actor. And he wrote a lot of plays for the LA Theater. He directed them, produced them, wrote them as well. And he was actually offered the role of, I think it's in the 90s, The Fugitive, and could not do it. He had to turn it down because of poor health. But let's talk about Frank Herbert. So Dune was inspired by the Oregon sand dunes, partially inspired, I should say, by the Oregon sand dunes. Was kind of cool. And he was briefly in the Navy Seabees as a photographer. And probably one of the oddest and coolest bits of trivia about him that I found is the heavy metal group Iron Maiden wanted to do a song named and inspired by Dune, and he said no.
And I heard this on the radio this week. Iron Maiden's T-shirts have sold more than any other T-shirt of any rock band ever.
Yep. I mean, it's just fantastic, the information. So it's pretty interesting to see the trivia that you get from these people. And he said no, he could have had some royalty rights there. He could have, but he's like, no, not doing it. And I did mention the whole, let me put this one down. I did mention the Connection Combat, and there it is. It's a Zendaya versus Sting this week. And what you're trying to do is get the connection to them, clean up your connection profiles along the way. If you have any that need sources, need categories, need bios, like Mags had mentioned, need bio, need anything along the way from you to them, then you want to work on those weebles, clean them up, get them taken care of, and post your connections down in the GGG. And as you see, we got lots of people that are telling us how far. Oh, that's really detailed. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That took a lot of work to do that G2G post. If you've been on G2G, you know that took a lot of work to do. Yeah. I'm still going. Who did this? I got to find out now. I'm still going. Mildred. Thank you, Mildred. That's a great example. And that would be the featured of the week. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy.
Let me come back over.
Right.
And well, thank you for no spreadsheet. Sorry.
Yes. Don't tell Greg.
Oh, no. You got Betsy.
I got some photos. So our theme for March is sport. And this photo was contributed by Patrick Holland, who is this little one, front row, third from the left. And I'm going to read you his description. The year is 1972. I am 11 years old and in my last year of primary school at St. Mary's Star of the Sea Boys School, Sandymount, Dublin. Ireland's national sport is Gaelic football and also hurling. I am on our school team and we reached the Clonagh Gael Cup final. Early rounds, yes. Early rounds are played in local public parks, but in Dublin City, the finals of these competitions are played at Croke Park, which is Ireland's national stadium, capacity 90,000. They made it to the finals. They had 100 to 200 spectators attending. Our school had not, and they won. He says our school had not won or even been in a final for almost 20 years. We played St. Michael's of Innicore and ran out winners in both matches. So returning to this photo, he shows there was some newspaper coverage listing the scorers and the members of both teams. He was on Sandy Mount. And then here is a picture of the stadium. So this is the stadium as it was in the 1970s. And here's a picture of the stadium today.
Wow.
Woo! Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous pitch. Yeah. And this is a photo of the triumphant team taken after a week after with their trophy. There it is. The boy in the center's holding it. And this is Patrick here in the end. So what a big deal that must have been. I can't even imagine.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun, fun, fun.
And I think that was it. We have one more week for sport photos to come in. I'm thinking I might have one to contribute. So I'll have to put that up. And now moving to celebrate your ancestors. Vicky, I know, is in the chat. Hi, Vicky. And so this is Vicky as a little one with her mother.
This is Vicky Blanco?
Vicky Blanco. Yes.
Yay.
Yes. So her mother's birthday is March 21st. So that was just this past week, 1956. Here's a photo of us from 1981. So really, really adorable.
How cute. What are you telling her something? What are you doing there, Vicky?
Yes, tell us.
Mom, it goes this way.
Yeah.
Like this.
Does you feel like she's
or is she saying, talk to the hand?
And then Vicky also goes on to tell us that there's an exceptional connection to March in her mother's family. So her grandfather, switch to that, her grandfather, his brother, and their father. What? Oops, what?
Vicky's having breakfast with her mom. They're watching.
I love that.
We have to be
sweet.
nice.
Me too.
No, it was nice. That's a cute picture. It is.
Yeah. So this is Vicky's grandfather, and he and his brother, who is still alive, and their father all were born on March 11th.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Lots of cake.
Yeah. I know. And Vicky also has some really, really nice photos on these profiles. I love this one.
Who is that?
That Vicky, correct. I hope I'm getting this right. This is your great grandfather.
Nice.
Yeah.
So dapper.
I know. That was exactly the word I was
You can
thinking.
absolutely see resemblances, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to her picture where she's directing traffic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Back to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. That's nice.
Yeah. And I would love to know. I noticed this photo on some shared by some of the profiles about the shop. So I'd love to know what kind of a shop it is. Must be some significance. I guess you're.
I was trying to see if they were pulling a beer or if they were doing ice cream. Scroll back up.
Yeah. Well, let's look at it.
Kids, you would think it would be ice cream rather than beer. No, I don't know. That's hard to tell.
It does look like that they're holding a glass.
Yeah, that's cool.
And cigarettes or cigars behind them?
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So happy birthday to everyone in your family this month. Vicky, and thank you for sharing. Let's see. Going back, I think we did have one. Yes, Chris Wine, who is also in the chat. I'm going to share Melvin Playford Wine's profile.
There you go. We have
He's
the answer.
actually
It was
from
weird.
the county that my family's from.
Really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I thought this. I never heard of Gem, but and this profile is managed by the Appalachia Project.
Did you arrange that with her?
Yes, Betsy and I had a conversation beforehand with Chris, and
Firing. Yep.
we colluded.
So Chris writes, Melvin Wine was my first cousin twice removed. Even though he had to walk with two canes, he sure could play that fiddle. The most interesting part about him was that he could not read a bit or read a note. I had
Neither
the
could
opportunity.
Bing Crosby.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I had an opportunity to go to his 90th birthday party and the opportunity to meet him a second time when my sister and I went to Charleston, West Virginia to do some research. I remember his hands being warm and a glow to his body, and he was always smiling. And Chris also shared a video. I don't think I can play the video. Am I right?
You could have uploaded it before and then played it through, but you can play it if your speakers are good enough. We should be able to hear it.
Well, I can. Okay. So just in case it doesn't work, I'm going to put that in the chat, but here's a little bit.
I believe we have a, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can.
There you go. Perfect.
So that's some fiddle playing right there.
Don't
stop. My can't say it. I've got my fiddle up there. We share fourth great grandfather.
I gotta look. What's this? What is the
ID? It is. Wait, I lost him.
Wine 560.
Thank you. I've lost Melvin. There we go. Okay, he's my 10th cousin, and so this is a really, really great, interesting profile, and talks about his family life, and then the bulk of the information about his musical career is from an obituary, and so he started. Let's see, there was one thing about his early fiddling. He picked up the fiddle at the age of 9 while his father was out of the house working as a farmhand. One of the first tunes young Melvin learned was Bonaparte's Retreat, which he played for his father. His father, in turn, taught Melvin some of the songs he had learned from his father. And that he just really went on to this extremely distinguished career as a musician. And by the end of it, he was teaching at colleges and passing along the unwritten canon of pre-colonial Appalachian music to the next generation.
That is so cool. I love the Appalachian music, and I love, one of my fondest memories is, I don't know how this happened, but my sister and I ended up in our kitchen, and we very rarely ever played together, but she had a mandolin and I had my guitar, and we played Bonaparte's Repeat, and we played it, and then we played it and we played it. We just like, she was like riffing, and it's one of my best memories of music is that song. That's great.
It's not an easy song either. So when you say you played it, that's impressive. I mean, it is really, really not an easy song. And
I had never played it before. We played it. I played it. I just followed what she was doing and played with her. And we played it for like half an hour solid. That's
very impressive. And this guy,
that's how you learn it.
This is a National Heritage Fellowship recipient. So this is a big deal for Appalachians, and for folk music, this is a pretty big deal.
And how ironic that his middle name is Playford.
I know. Yeah.
And the other thing that I really like about this profile is that the records We've got his delayed birth certificate, his marriage record, his draft registration cards. So it's so nice to just be able to click on those and see that.
I when you said all the records, I'm like, there's records?
I know, that's what I thought too. Let's listen.
Yeah. Let's just forget the rest of it.
Yeah.
And listen to Melvin play the rest of
You
it.
get a start on bluegrass, we're there.
So, Chris, thank you very much for sharing your cousin with us. Oh, and by the way, his connection to March is that he died March 16 in 20 years ago, 21 years ago, 2003.
In Gasaway, right off the interstate is Gasaway. That's where all the track drivers, interestingly, gas up.
That's a little bit of local lore, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the tip of the week, I'm just going to take that down for a second. So the tip of the week is in two parts, and it's kind of a follow-up to recent tips. So last week I talked about WikiTree Turbo extension, which had a photo tagging feature. And it came to my attention that extension is not really currently used. And there was a very, very significant part to it. If you look at the top of any WikiTree page, you see up here, you could search for someone on your watch list. And I'm searching for my dad, and boom, there he is. So that is a feature that came out of WikiTree Turbo. That is, it's so valuable that it got incorporated into the main screen. But there are a few things about it that you need to be aware of. One is that it saves a lot of data to your computer. So if you were to use it very extensively, just know that it might slow things down. So and as we noted last week, it only works if both people have it. So there's a little update there. And then I also wanted to go back to Shonda Feather's tip about borderless tables. So remember, we celebrated her ancestor, John Henry Howell, a couple of weeks ago, and we all admired these very elegant borderless tables. So she was kind enough to write up a G2G post about how to do this.
She also contacted me personally and gave me a personal tutorial on how to do it. I was so excited. That's so much fun.
Yeah, thank you, Shonda. Thank you and she gave a nice shout out to the Saturday Roundup. Everyone should watch. You never know what tips you'll get. So thank you for that kindness. So I thought I'd just walk everybody through a simplified version of this. I have not been in the habit of putting tables in my narrative so far. I don't really have a strong bias. I just didn't know how to do it. So let me show you. First thing, you have to have Sourcer. And so Sourcer, once you have it, you'll see this little one up at the top. You want to go down the menu to options, and you'll click on that, and it warns you it's going to open in a new.
We're not seeing your screen there, Betsy.
You're not really. Oh, because okay, wait, Mags, I'll do it.
Stop pushing that button. No, you stop.
Okay, all right. So number one, download Sourcer, and then go to the options menu. We'll open in a new window, and then you're going to see this screen. So you're going to want to go to the household table tab, and then right at the top, there's a pull down menu. Now it's auto set for no, not to automatically add household table, which is where I had it, but I've now changed it to add the table after the so it shows in the biography after the little ref tags and with the source citation in the middle. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this census listing for Mabel here. So now I'm on the census record in Family Search. I'm going to go to Sorcerer and build household table. So I just wanted to show you that part, just because I know you won't be able to see it when I do that. So here I am. I'm on the census record and I'm going to build the household table. It's going to tell me the household table is saved to the clipboard. And now when I return to Mabel's profile, go into edit mode. Now she's still a profile in progress for me. So I just going to go in the middle here. I'm going to paste that. Now, let's look in preview mode and see what that's done. Okay, you see it? It creates the table. Now, all you have to do to take the borders away is to come back up, and in the very top line, instead of 1, I'm going to make that a 0. Now, when I come down to preview, ta-da!
Ta-da! Dee-doo.
WikiTree touchdown.
WikiTree touchdown! WikiTree! There's another table converter. If you are looking at a table on a website and you want to convert the verbiage in a list to a table, it is called Magnus Tools. Here, I'll put this in the chat for everybody. You can use this to create profiles based on other stuff that you find. And all you do is you just take the information you have from the website that's a list, put it in here. You have the option of creating a table that has a first element as a column header.
Max, you can show your screen.
Oh, share my screen. Yeah, I'm having a problem. We're having problems with that today. So this is what it looks like. It's very simple. It's called Tab2Wiki by Magnus Tools. You just paste in the information that you have from the website. You can say you want a column header or a row header instead. You can compress the table. You can create a sortable table. And then after you've got the information, so if I put in birds I like, and then blue, red, cardinal, whatever. And you got to put it in a list format. So do this and then this, and then you say yes. And if you want it sortable, it'll even create a sortable profile, table. And to take the border out, you just make it a 0, and then you can add that border. You can just cut and paste and add that information into whatever profile you're working on. So.
And if you guys have WBE installed, Ian put in a wiki table wizard as well for a profile that I don't think I would do it for census though. I like Betsy's, go to Sorcerer and grab it.
And Susan Anderson added a great question in the chat. Yes, it is picking up Family Search's transcription. However, if you're here on within the edit mode, you can make an adjustment.
Do it. Show us that table again, please, Betsy. Do the preview. Just go down to preview.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Because Chris Wine has a question.
Yeah.
So you see she's got a green highlight bar. There are people who are so against this green highlight that it's crazy. But if you are a visual learner like I am, having things in table format makes it a lot easier for me to see, like literally see. So scroll back up to the the wiki markup for that. So to add that color, Chris, you see what they've got, the BG color, and you can find any color you want really by going to BG Color, type that into a Google and you can see those formats that you can add different colors. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know that. So
Yeah, I got to have those color differentials. I'm a visual as well, and I've got to see the difference.
Mary Kowalski, Mary Kowalski has dropped in today as a newt, and she is excited. Except now she's learned all the stuff she has to learn. So we're so sorry about that, but we're also glad you're here, and we're also glad you're learning. So that's good.
Yes, yeah, I put that in my Discord status that it's Saturday roundup o'clock, and Mary sent me a message. What is that? And I said, well, click on the link. We're live right now. So Mary, I'm so glad you made it.
Yay!
Yes.
No, you watch football. Do it right.
I do not watch football. I'm hockey.
You sounded like a New Yorker. Okay, so that's cool. Are you done, Miss Betsy? I didn't mean to.
I am.
Right.
Thank you.
Cool. And we're just going to switch over here real quick, and we're going to talk about the things that are upcoming. Have you registered yet for the April 2024 Connect-a-thon? I think it's the third weekend in April. Is that right?
The 12th through the 15th of April.
12th through the 15th. So I will be here. I'll be playing around. I think Sandy and Betsy will all be here hanging out and playing. So will Greg. Connection Combat, we just did it. Zendaya and Sting. What's happening around WikiTree in March? That's what we're really looking for. Although there is a great research going on with the American Ancestors, Melanie.com. And we can show you that. But if you are working on that, we love it, and we can't wait to see how that turns out. And then what's happening around WikiTree? There's a great post here that shows lots of information. We are up to, look, they even graded out so that this lady can actually see where where we are. So we're the March 18th to 25th. Thank you, or Aowen, whoever posted that. It was Aowen. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we've got 52 Ancestors, week 12, technology. We've got the Global Spotlight coming up on the 18th, the Connection Combat, the 19th through the 26th. The Data Doctors Challenge, improves star profiles. The German Stammtisch is working on the 20th. Then Friday date night. So you get to go and hang out in your best evening attire with Miss Julie Ricketts. And then let's see. Then the weekend chat comes up. Pip Shepard always has a fun chat in G2G. Check that out. And then you can come back and watch us again for the Saturday LiveCast, the roundup of the week that was. And let's pop over. Yeah.
Can I add one thing? We have a new member Zoom tomorrow morning, and all details are here, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Mary.
And Mary's on the new team for the Connect-a-thon. We got 25 people on the new team so far.
Do you have a link for that? That's
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Throw that up in the
yep,
we can post that. Easter Saturday is next week.
Already.
Somebody, John Tyner's letting us know. So we're going to pop on over to the Ambassadors Project. If you go over to Find, scroll down to Projects, click that, and then scroll down and find the Ambassadors Project. And then you want to scroll within that page. We'd love for you to share WikiTree love all over your social media. Azure does a really good job of keeping this up to date. So we've got a cemetery spotlight coming up. The Berea Cemetery in Berea, Kentucky is coming up. You can share that on your social media. The question of the week, which we don't know what it is yet, but that'll come out tomorrow. We Will Rock You with Betsy Coe coming up on Monday as well.
And Sandy.
Yeah. She's not in your little promo picture there.
No, I'm just a special Hatfield and McCoy guest.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, no. Harrington is our one name Tuesday. Is this week or last week?
That's this week.
Yeah, okay. Harrington is our one name Tuesday. The Connection Combat keeps going on. One Place Wednesday is Palm Beach, Florida.
Ooh, warm.
Ooh, yeah, warm. And then the event showcase. I don't know which event that is, but it's the Connect-a-thon. Woohoo! And then the Connection Finder, Hollywood Walk of Fame Spotlight.
I know who it is, and you'll have to wait to find out.
All right. And then the Saturday LiveCast. So we talk about the roundup of things that were. That is stuff if you want to share it on your social media. And that is the week that was on WikiTree. And this is our Saturday morning LiveCast. We're so glad that all of you joined us, checking to make sure there isn't any extra stuff we need to know. Thank you, Betsy, for being here as usual. Patty, biscuit. You got to send me a box, though. You got to send me a box.
Blueberry ones.
I'm going to have to go up to Kid. They have blueberry stuff right now at McDonald's. I have to go and get a pie. I don't eat McDonald's ever.
Yeah, I don't even.
So we want to wave goodbye to you guys and say thank you for being here.
Have a good week.
Happy Saturday.